Sparkly Beings, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a 25-minute session devoted to syncing you up with the current energies of the solar eclipse with the new moon in Libra. Energy of that is about 3 days before and 3 days after, so you can do this practice anytime through there to kind of align yourself with the current energy, frequency, vibration, whatever you want to call it, that's going on right now. This is a time about really getting balance, so if you've been a little bit more one way, you want to do your best to kind of shift to the other way, to not necessarily go to one extreme to the next, but to do your best to shift a little bit more back towards the middle space. And so if you're like too focused into work, then maybe you want to connect a little bit more with your family, or if you've been out partying a lot, then maybe you want to focus a little bit more on work. So things like that. With the eclipse season, this is a time to kind of release things and let some things go to the wayside, let them fall away, honor the cycle of life, endings and new beginnings, essentially. That's kind of the energy that's for this current time, and that's what we want to really evoke during this yoga practice. So we're focusing on the chakra system and the specific chakras that are participating more intensely with the current energy that's happening right now. So we'll be working from our heart chakra, which is Libra, and then we're connecting to our throat and our third eye. Throat and third eye is also very much Virgo, but those are really important if you want to bring anything from within externally, right? Because we need to know what our heart wants and we need to be able to voice it. And then we also need to be able to kind of intuit and connect with our higher self and our higher wisdom to kind of make it all come together. So this is definitely a time to just kind of let go whatever is no longer serving you and to move into the new. All that being said, whenever you're ready, join me on your mat.
Let's take a moment here to start with an intention. How we can move through our heart and guide ourselves to our truest desires in all of its fulfillment, and bring this into every movement in this session. Begin with me at the top of your mat. Roll your shoulders down and back. Make sure your feet are hip width distance apart. Really root through all 10 toes. Press all 10 toes into the earth. Make your toes into little fists. And release. Come into your mountain pose. So roll your shoulders down and back, palms towards the front. This is our nice beginning grounding pose here. So we activate everything here. We clench all of our muscles really, really tight. So your abs are clenched. So hips to ribs, ribs to hips. Glutes are active here. Quads, hamstrings, calves, shins, biceps, triceps, even your pecs here are active. And release. And shake it out. We're going to begin with some undulations. So I'm going to turn to face the front of my mat. You're welcome to join me. Once again, your feet are about hip width distance apart. Roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, both arms out and up to gaze up. Exhale, press the airway, chin to chest. Inhale, raise both arms out and up, gaze up. Exhale, press the airway, chin to chest. This time, inhale both arms all the way out and up. Press your hands together. Bring them to your third eye, thumb to your third eye. We're going to inhale here, lengthen through our spine, and on our exhale, option to bend your knees or not. Recommendation to not bend your knees and just let yourself drift as forward as you can until you can't. So you might be able to get as deep as me and you might not, and that's totally okay. But if you keep your knees extended, then you're gonna eventually over time lengthen through your hamstrings and the backs of your knees, and you're gonna be able to have a much deeper range of motion. So on your inhale, roll up one vertebra at a time and arch your back as much as feels comfortable for you, as much as is safe. We're opening up our heart, our throat chakra, our third eye. Exhale, coming down. We're connecting all of our chakras here, rooting through and coming all the way to the crown of our head. And opening through your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Nice flat back. Like I said, bent into your knees or not, whatever you feel works for this motion for you. Rounding back up. Inhale, opening through your heart. Exhale, coming down flat back. Hinging from your hips. And one more time, roll up one vertebra at a time. Arch your back, gaze back behind you if you can. And gently rise to stand. Release your hands to your sides and shake them out. Shake out your legs if you need to as well. Inhale, both arms out and up to gaze up. Exhale, press the airway. Come all the way down, swan dive, flat back. Palms towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins. Navel drawn in, shoulders down, away from your ears. Exhale, press palms to the mat and step back here for your plank. Get nice and strong in your plank. Inhale here. Exhale, your version of chaturanga, so lower your knees or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Hold it here for a moment. Really lengthen through your tailbone to protect your lower spine. And tuck your toes, bend your knees and raise your hips on your exhale for downward facing dog. Really root in through your hands and your feet. Option to walk your dog, so bend into one knee and the other if that feels good. Just to help release any tension. Setting an intention here about what you want to bring into this next cycle. Inhale, raise your right leg up and back for a three-legged dog. Exhale, step through low lunge. Drop your back heel down at a 45-degree angle. Inhale here, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, rise for warrior one. So you want to try to get both hips facing forward as much as possible and lengthen through your tailbone here to open up through this hip flexor. Both arms up ahead of you. Maybe gaze up if that feels good. Pinkies rotated towards one another to create space in your shoulders and neck. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale, bring your arms back behind you and interlace your fingers. Draw your fists away from you to really open through your heart here. Stay nice and straight through that back leg, nice and bent into your front knee. Inhale here to lengthen. On your exhale, we're going to drift gently backwards to really open into our heart chakra here. Really connecting with that Libra energy. Operating from your heart, your compassion, ability to connect with people, desire to create balance and harmony in all relationships. Inhale to rise. Exhale, gently shift forward and come into your humble warrior. So you may not come down as deep. That is totally okay. Come down wherever works for you. Drawing your heart towards the earth, drawing your fist towards the sky, lengthen through your spine and breathe into the space we're creating here. And release your hands, place them down to either side of that foot. Release your back heel from the ground, step back for your plank. Inhale here, lengthen through your spine. On our exhale, chaturanga, knees or not. Inhale, upward facing dog, draw your tailbone down towards the earth. Exhale, bend into your knees, raise your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Once again, taking a pause, taking a breath, rooting through your fingers and your toes. Lengthen through your spine and reconnect with the intention of what you want to plant to come into fruition by the next full moon. Connecting with your heart space. What does your heart want? Inhale, raise left leg up and back for three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through low lunge. Drop your back heel at a 45-degree angle. Inhale here to lengthen through your spine. And exhale, press into that front foot as you rise for your warrior one. So once again, lengthen through your tailbone here to create space in that back hip flexor. Palms towards each other. Maybe rotate pinkies towards one another, shoulder blades down and back. Really create length here in your spine. Root through your feet. And exhale, Draw your arms behind you, interlace your fingers. Inhale here and exhale, draw your hands down towards the earth as they're interlaced to open your heart more towards the sky. Really breathe into the space of your heart. Feel all the feels, the warmness that infuses every part of you. Inhale to rise. Exhale, gently hinge at your hips and drift forward. Come into your humble warrior. Body is more on the inside of your thigh. So rather your torso, because I guess your whole body is your body, right? So your torso is more on the inside of your thigh. If possible, you might be up here. Just honor where you're at. Really open through your heart space. Let it come towards the earth. Lengthening through your spine, staying straight in that back leg, and gently release your palms to the ground to frame that front foot. Step it back for plank. Inhale here. Exhale your version of chaturanga, knees or not. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Draw your tailbone down. Exhale, tuck your toes, bend your knees, and rise your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Once again, rooting through your hands, rooting through your feet. So we're going to do some undulations here, similar to how we started in our standing position. This can be quite awkward, and that's okay. Over time, it'll become more enjoyable. But I would like to give you the opportunity to give it a little go and see how it feels in your body. So, root through your toes. Inhale, draw your heart through your hands. Shoulder blades down and back, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, press the earth away around through your spine and tailbone back up. So it's like a cat-cow, but in a downward facing dog. So inhale, open your heart, raise your head. Exhale, press into the earth, round through your spine, and let yourself come back into that downward facing dog position. Inhale, shift forward, open through your heart. Exhale, press through your hands, round through the top of your spine, and come back into that downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, spinal undulations forward, heart through your arms, gaze up, if that feels good. Exhale, rounding back through your spine, and pressing back into your downward facing dog. From here, lower your knees. Make sure your knees are under your hips. And we're going to come into our puppy pose. So it's kind of like child's pose, but like down dog meets child's pose. So go ahead and walk your arms away from you. Option to have a bolster or block or something under your heart that can give you a little show of what that might look like. So like this, in case you don't have this range of motion. So whoop. A little bit of a microphone malfunction there. All right, so guide your heart towards the earth. Create length in your spine. Maybe gaze up. Chin on the earth if that feels good, or maybe your forehead. Breathing into your spine. Pressing your heart to the earth. Coming back to your intentions. What do you want? What does your heart desire? Who do you need to reconnect with? Or what desires or accomplishments are you really connecting with through your heart? And how can we bring those into our lives? Gently begin to walk your hands back towards you. Back into our tabletop. We're going to do some official cat-cows here. So press into your palms, knees under your hips, palms under your shoulders. Inhale, chest through your arms. Open your heart, raise your hips to gaze up. Really draw the heels of your hands towards your knees. And on your exhale, rounding through your spine, arch your back, press the earth away, navel to spine, tailbone pointing down to really create length in your lower back as it comes more to the sky. And inhale, cat. Raise your hips up, gaze up, open your heart through your arms. And one more time, exhale, press the earth away, chin to chest, navel to spine, rounding through your back, tailbone pointing down. And come back to center. Walk your hands back towards you. We're going to come up to our knees. Option to keep your toes under or not. If you release them, it's going to become a more challenging pose because we're going to come into camel pose. So, beginning camel pose, you're going to take your hands and place them as if you have pockets. Maybe you do have pockets on whatever yoga pants or whatever pants you're wearing right now. Go ahead and place them in those invisible pockets. Rotate your shoulders down and back and open through your heart here. This is just the first version of this. Option to start to lean back. Draw your pelvic bone forward as you create length in your spine so your tailbone is pointing down. Option to drop one hand to one heel, or maybe both hands to both heels. And this is why you might want your toes raised. If you have range of motion to lower your feet, option to do so. But we're really wanting to open through our heart and guide our hips forward to the front of the room. Maybe drop your head back to connect your throat chakra. Gently raise your head back up. Gently walk one hand back towards your hips and invisible pockets and the other. And let your sit bones come down towards your heels. Bring your knees out to the outer edges of your mat. Inhale here to lengthen through your spine. And exhale, we're going to walk ourselves forward into a nice little happy child's pose. Forehead to the mat if that feels good. Once again, option to have a bolster or a block under your forehead to help bring the earth to you. Connecting with our third eye. When we want to bring things into our reality, it's about setting an intention and kind of working backwards from that. Saying, okay, well, if I want this, how do I do it then? And the steps will reveal themselves to you. You just take one little step at a time. So first you know through your heart what you really, really, really want. And then you may think about it a little bit. Really importantly, we want to talk about it. That's where your throat chakra comes in. When you speak it into reality, let's say, it becomes more tangible to your mind. And it's also an opportunity to really connect with other people and get really good feedback on what you want and how to get it. Alright, go ahead and walk your hands back towards yourself to come back, to sit up. Bring your knees towards one another. We're going to just sit in our thunderbolt pose for a moment. Roll your shoulders down and back. Let's reroot into our sit bones and into the length of our spine. Gently shift your hands to your left to let yourself come all the way down to sit. Maybe if you traveled on your mat quite a bit like I did, you want to walk yourself up a little bit. Feet hip width distance apart. Lengthen through your spine. Maybe clasp your hands and bring your pieces of your elbows to the outer sides of your knees. Open your heart here. And then round through your spine, chin to chest, navel to spine. And gently rise, palms towards the sky. We're going to roll down one vertebra at a time. Very mindfully focused. Head's the last thing to come down. Lengthen your arms away from you, lengthen your feet away from you. Get a nice full body stretch here. And bring your knees towards the sky as your base of your feet comes towards your seat. Draw your knees into your chest. Hands on the outside edges of your knees. We're going to do some little knee circles here to massage our lower backs from all those cat-cows and undulations. And reverse direction. A little bit of a happy baby, so guide your feet towards the sky, the base of your feet. Grab the outer edges of your feet, knees towards your ribs. Lengthen through your tailbone to create space and protect your lower back. Option to lengthen into one leg or the other if that feels good for you. Or maybe both. You might hear some popping and cracking. I get a little bit of snap, crackle, pop myself. And guide your feet back together. Bring the base of your feet together. Gently lower your feet down for reclining Baddha Konasana, arms out to the sides. Lengthen through your spine, readjust whatever you need to do. And let your feet fall open away from you as you extend your legs out and long. Bring your arms to your sides, but not completely to your sides, just a little bit away from your sides. Make sure your heart is open, your shoulders are down and back. And just start to release any tension from your body. Get connected with your breath. Inhale nice and deep. Exhale, feel your body sink more into the ground on each exhale. Scanning your body from the base of your feet to the crown of your head with each breath. Like a little wisp light. Inhale through the base of your feet to the crown of your head. And as you exhale through the crown of your head to the base of your feet. Gently close your eyes. Let go of any tension in your face, so forehead, eyes, cheeks, and chin. Let it all go. Release any tension in your neck, your shoulders, chest, upper back. Releasing any tension in your arms, wrists, hands, and fingers. Letting go of any tension in your lower back, your abs, your hips, and your glutes. Releasing any tension in your legs, ankles, feet, and toes. And just allow your body to melt into the earth. Be present here with your breath. Being here now, cultivating your inner peace. Begin to deepen your breath. Feel your ribs expand and contract. Feel your heart rise on each inhale and fall on each exhale. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And gently shift your weight to the left. And allow yourself to come on a lying position on your left side. Left arm under your head, right hand in front of you, pressing into the earth. Taking a moment here before we rise. And press into your right hand to allow yourself to come up into a nice easy seat to face me. Roll your shoulders down and back. Heart open. Palms up for receiving. Breathe a nice deep inhalation through the crown of your head to the base of your spine. And through the base of your spine to the crown of your head on your inhale. Scanning your body, feeling the space we've created. Reconnecting with those intentions that we've been setting all through the session. Surrendering to the greater unknown. Allowing your mind to be in a state of ease and awareness. Open to any opportunities that you might miss. Moving forward with peace and clarity. Letting go of any fear, doubt, or shame. The building blocks of your future come from a state of peace, where all things become clear. Inhale both arms above you. Press hands together. Exhale, hands to heart center in prayer. Inhale here to lengthen to your spine, and as you exhale, gently hinge to your hips and bow to yourself, thanking yourself for this time to reconnect with your mind, body, and spirit. Namaste.
I hope you really enjoyed that and that you feel a lot more connected with your intentions and what you want to bring into this next chapter of your life. I appreciate you. I appreciate you showing up for yourself. And if you feel like anybody else would benefit from this, then go ahead and share it. And if you really like this and you want to see more of it, then go ahead and like and subscribe. And step into your light, be your truest, highest self. And until next time, namaste.